Hi YouTube, how are we doing this evening? Good? Awesome. Now tonight we're going to be moving on to some more Outlander, and that is episode 3, The Way Out. Now if you've only just watched this and you haven't watched episode 1 and 2, better go watch that right now. I'll give you 5 seconds to do that. So ready? And go! And welcome back. Okay then, without further ado, without any rambling whatsoever, let's carry on watching a little bit more of Outlander, episode 3, The Way Out.
I wanted it to be a dream, but I knew it wasn't. I was no longer in the 20th century. It was like landing on an alien world you'd only glimpsed through a telescope. Are you following me?
And with Diggle's eyes. Notice he... I suspect you may be an English spy.
My name is Gillis Johnson. I hope I'll see you tonight at the hall.
What's that? And yeah, Calic.
He's all right to take the girl's punishment.
You need not be scared of him. Nor anyone else here. So come down with you. You remain here. As my guest.
You mean as your prisoner, don't you?
Only if you try to leave.
Right, so they're just recapping of what happened in episode 2. So basically, it's about a character named Claire who comes from all the way from 1945. She works as a World War II nurse. She goes on a getaway to Scotland with her husband Frank, and she stumbles upon these rocks that have mystical properties to it, and she gets sent back in time to Scotland, 1743. How I remembered that, I don't know. I've got a really good memory. And she's going to be encountering loads of action, loads of romance, hopefully. I'm still holding on that. And a lot of drama, and maybe reenacting some of the, or showing like key points of like in Scottish history. So yeah, it's all good. I'm quite enjoying the series so far. I guess it's going to be a little bit better as it goes along. I think it gets slightly better with each episode as well. Anyway, back to Claire. She was supposed to only stay there for a week, but then they decided that she was a really good healer, and that they thought, you know what, she's going to stay here. And they're just going to watch her around the clock, literally, like because they're thinking that she's an English spy. So she's got a lot of proving herself. So let's get on with watching it.
Contacted Colonel Howard that it might be a week before we can issue a new sentence.
Right, I don't know why to use the connection. What are these men? They've nowhere to change their voice.
I don't understand why you would...
What I want is my husband at home with me.
So this must be
I don't have that right now.
it's flashing back to the late 1930s, early 40s of when the Second World War started. She works as a nurse, as I said before, and her husband Frank is an officer, and he's a bit of a history buffing as well. Hence why they went to Scotland in the first place, because of his ancestors. He's the direct descendant of Captain Blackjack Randall, not Jack Sparrow, Randall. And let's just say he's a bit of an arse, let's put it that way. And, yeah.
As they say, that's my cue.
Oh, it must have been so hard just to leave your loved ones behind, even when they're in, like, the same, even when they're both going off to war, but doing it in different parts of, like, camp and stuff like that. So he's going to be going one way and she's going another.
I won't.
I love you.
Aww.
Beach and Randall, promise that you will return to me.
I will find Randall. I promise.
I love steam trains. Oh, that reverted quickly.
Keep your headed and strong, though.
I've never seen a woman past Easter's name has been so unmarked by injury or illness. His next husband will be a lucky man.
Ooh. Touched a little bit of a nerve there, Mrs. Fitzgibbons.
Can I tell you something? Of course you can. About my husband. He's not dead.
Oh, she's not going to tell her, is she?
No, it's wonderful. It's just what... He hasn't been born yet. I don't understand your meaning.
Oh, God.
Well, I seem to have fallen through time. I was on my honeymoon in 1945. 200 years from now, Samhain and I went to the stone tub, Craig Nadoon. Do you know it?
I've heard strange tales.
I touched the stone and the world just spun out.
I can't believe she's doing this. I didn't think that she had to say early on.
1743.
I got the date right.
From the future.
What did he command?
She's taking it quite well. Surprisingly.
I can hardly believe it myself.
I thought she's going to be like screaming that she's a witch or something. I could just see it happening.
I have to get back to the stones.
May I help you asking?
Do you think the Mackenzies would believe me if I told them the truth?
Perhaps. With fear of eye and hundred of tongue. I see you now for what you are.
Huh?
Begone, evil demon! I abjure thee!
No, Miss Fitz.
I'm a good Christian woman! I'll not let you steal any witch! Oh, hundreds of McKays will be turning up.
Oh, it was a dream.
You listening to me, child?
Sorry, what? Gathering? I'm not familiar with that term.
All the Mackenzie men throughout the Highlands come and plight their oath to the clan and themselves. Last one, decades ago, when Cole was made laird. I'm very glad you're here to handle the physicking. I've enough to manage without you know folks' ailments.
Oh, so they're going to be having a little party.
Well,
And it's going to be a ceremony all wrapped up in one.
being there, gracious, make no mistake.
If I could get in Colin and Dougal's good graces, perhaps I could win my release and begin to make my way back to Frank.
A headache. Taking one ball all the time.
Medicine and caring for the people of the Clan Mackenzie seems the most logical way for me to earn their trust. But in order to do that without raising suspicion, I would have to find a way to apply 20th century medicine using only the methods and equipment available in the 18th. Later.
Ugh!
Good life, Jesus H. Where's the Christ?
I just love her cursing. I just love it. Jesus. Why don't you take a picture? It'll last longer. If that was me, I wouldn't like it if somebody was literally like hovering over me as I'm working.
Pigeon's blood, ant eggs, and powdered human skull. Whose, I wonder?
Ugh.
While a number of herbs and extracts.
You're better off not knowing whose skull you've powdered, love. Serves you right.
My guards began to spend their time in the kitchen while I was being patient. I told myself this was a good sign, a sign of trust. A feeling they hopefully will share with Dougal.
Excuse me, gentlemen. I could use some help in the surgery. The discarded medicine seems to be disposed of.
What are you two drunkards still doing taking up space in my kitchen? If you've no work in here, be gone with you.
We're just following orders. Keep an eye on this one.
And she's been hiding in the bottom of your mouth for the past 2 hours.
Whoops. Crash bang wallop.
Go on, you and your other face. Carry on working.
Oh, she's the gaffer. You don't want to mess with her.
Who is that?
Column's chambermaid.
Is she going to be all right?
Aye. Sometimes. Her boy died last night. Wee Lindsay McLean.
What
Oh.
happened? How did nobody come and get me?
But the old wee Lindsay has no more computers.
Went up to a neatly UBJ.
What?
The old ruins of the Benedictine monastery. Folk here about to call it the Black Crack.
You think somehow the ruins killed him?
It was not the ruins of that woman. It was the demons who roamed free inside the room.
Oh no.
Sickly boy on his bed. No match for old Nick.
So it's all down to possession. Is that why the kid died?
The Mackenzie request your presence in his chambers, Mistress Beecham.
Oh, you've been summoned, love.
The health of a cold, you wee doggerel.
What I think.
My nephew, Thomas Baxter. Lindsay McNeil was like a brother to him.
The Mackenzies, what do you think? All right. The medicines are on the step. You can't miss them.
So one of the ladies, one of the servants, his son passed away because of forces that we cannot. I'm not skeptical about that. I'm not at all. I'm all for it. I believe there is a life after life. I do believe that, and I'm not. It's one of those things that you have to see to believe, or if you've actually involved in it yourself, you'd have more of an opinion.
It'll be a trifle longer than your stand-up frog.
Well, you're hardly standard now, I lad. A one-of-a-kind coat for a one-of-a-kind man.
I was told that you are the finest peeler of diamonds. Come fresh from Edinburgh.
Well, I thank you, my lord. My wife's people are Mackenzies, and I'm always happy for a chance to bring her home.
And did your wife's people encourage you to mock your birth?
Mock?
Does not a man's coat usually fall just to the knee?
Yes.
And did I ask you for anything different than that?
Well, no, not explicitly, but I just thought...
That my legs should be hidden? That I have something to be ashamed of?
I would never presume.
Ooh.
My lad.
There's no need to go that far.
You make me a stand-up frock coat and have it back to me by tomorrow.
Of course, man. Thank you, my lad.
I can see where he's coming from. I mean, because he's got like the Toulouse-Lautrec syndrome, which causes like the legs to like bow out. I think that's what it is, and
It's rather full garment, I'm afraid.
so and he doesn't feel ashamed of having bowed legs, and I'd be annoyed as well if I had that as well.
Davy Beaton
Well,
used to massage me. It made movement easier. I hoped you would do the same.
Of course.
she's gonna massage his legs. Nothing a good old shiatsu wouldn't solve.
What's wrong? Did you find my legs as repellent as the peeler does?
No, it's just, well,
I believe it'd be more beneficial if, rather than your legs, I massaged the base of your spine.
Don't tell me my arse offends you too.
So it would be like the base of the spine of where the most pain would
Moist
be.
heat is usually quite soothing after a massage. Is there any water for boiling that's in clean cloth?
No. Mrs. McNeil, the chambermaid, she lost her son last night. She hasn't been in this long now.
I'm very sorry to hear about her boy.
Freedom's work. The foolish child. He went up to the Black Kirk. Sometimes I wonder what I did to make the devil punish me like this. What? You don't have demons in Oxfordshire, mistress?
Well, we do. We call them Scots.
Ah, that's a good one.
Sorry, did I hurt you?
On the contrary, you're easing the pain considerably. Gwilyn the Bard, he'll be singing in the hall tonight before the gathering. I'd like you to come along as my guest.
Ooh,
Thank you.
come along as a +1. Well, she's got to get in the good books, hasn't she? I mean, since they think that she's an English spy, and the story that he gave Colm, it didn't seem plausible, hence why last episode she was being tested on her last name and stuff like that.
Her brother looks very well to me. This is down to you and your healing touch.
There he is again.
I'm glad I could be of service.
Aye. Seems that the federal cat we picked up on the road is trying to pull in our clothes.
Charming description. If you'll excuse me, I believe I'll have a better view from over there.
In other words, please don't talk to me. You're an arse. Or having a bit of a sing-song. Gorgeous harp.
Hello. We've not been properly introduced. I'm Claire Beecham. Leary Mackenzie.
Oh, Jamie's looking dapper tonight.
Quite the fine figure, Mr. McTavish. Aye. There's no knee fancies. Well, men rarely know what's best for them, as women of course.
Leary? Mrs. Beecham?
Mr. McTavish, I was just telling Miss Mackenzie how beautiful she looked tonight.
Mrs. Bonnie.
The voice would go, yeah, she's alright.
I don't understand a word. It's so beautiful.
Oh, gorgeous.
Has Gwilyn been at the castle long?
Aye. Many years. I spent a year at Leoch when I was 16 or so. Gwilyn was here then. Colin Pacey well, has to. And a Welshman would be welcome at any laird's hearth.
I remember when you were here before.
I've been little on 7 or 8 yourself. Doubt I was much to see then. So as to be remembered.
Well, I do remember though. You were still... I mean, do you not remember me from then?
No. I don't think so.
Oh,
I wouldn't be likely to.
oh, bless Larry. Oh, bless her. She's like, please, notice me. That'd be me, just like going, please, notice me, senpai, please. Absolutely gorgeous, that music. So calming as well. Oh God, she's on the drink.
Are you implying that I'm intoxicated?
Be impressed if you want.
Such flirting going on there, and they don't even realise it. Brava! Brava! If you don't know what that's from, look, you need to look at it.
No. Yes, of course.
Or they're going to have a bit of a jig. I hope they're having a bit of a jig. In the dancing sense, not any of that.
Alright, let's have a look at that shoulder.
Oh, I thought they were going to have a dance.
See you back to the surgery. You can still walk upright.
Oh, thank you. I suppose I did overindulge slightly. I should have known though. It was really uncomfortable. I imagine you would just rip off the bandages yourself.
I was afraid to. But I get my arse scalped.
I am the hero after all. I'm in charge.
I looked out of it.
Really though, if it was bothering you, you should have told me. You're taking it off these other days at the stable.
Can you do that before Alec?
Scott, you don't want Alec to know you've been flogged.
Well, Alec knows I've been flogged, but he's not seen it. To know something like that is... That's not the same as seeing it with your own eyes. That's a bit personal, maybe. That's what I mean. I think if Alec were to see the scars, he couldn't see me anymore without thinking of my back.
You don't mind me seeing your back?
I don't.
Oh.
You seem to have a knack for it.
I don't mind seeing your back either, Jamie, and I don't think that the female population watching this would mind either.
I should go.
Wait,
There's
you
something
haven't looked
there.
at
I can sense it. Oh my God, just kiss her, you fool.
Scabbed over nicely. No drainage.
Don't go picking that scab now. You'll make it worse.
Take those bandages off in a few days.
As you see.
Night, Mr. McTavish.
Good night, Mr. Speecham.
Come on! That was a perfect opportunity to, like, have an accidental kiss or something. So perfect. I was waiting for that as well. So irritating.
You never sit down, woman. My breakfast barely past my gullet.
Walking is good for digestion. Claire! Ah, I'm so glad you could join me. Wouldn't have missed it.
There we go, it's Gellis. I've just figured out who she is and what she has been. She's been in the Borgias, you know, the Jeremy Iron ones. She plays Julia Farnese. It only just come to me after I recorded episode 2, because I was trying to think about what the hell has this woman been in, and it's going to drive me crazy, and I'm not going to go to bed, and I'm not going to get this this video uploaded in time, and it just hit me like a ton of bricks.
When you say seized with evil, what exactly do you mean? Is he ill? He's not ill. He's possessed. Do you not believe in demonic possession, Claire? Do you? These are powers beyond our ken. Beyond what we can see and hear and touch. Demon, fairy, devil, doesn't matter what name we put on them. Do you believe in their powers of magic, do you know? I haven't really thought much about it.
Oh, it's the old argument of science versus religion, science versus magic.
You have to admit, it's certainly possible the boy's actually sick and not possessed. And if that's the case, then perhaps there's something you and I can do to help. People believe the boy is possessed, Claire. They challenge it at your peril. I'll not believe him, and neither should you.
What the hell is he sniffing? Does it look like smelling salts? God, he's hobbling on behind. Go for a jog, mate. Oh God, she's going to be interfering in something that she shouldn't be interfering with.
It's not your place. I thought that would change your mind.
The priest once told me my healing skills were a gift from God.
Yeah, but that was the 20th century, Claire. It's not going to be like that now. In the blooming 18th century, I mean, come on. Oh my God. The poor lad.
In case it gets violent. The demons you can.
I'm here to help. Are symptoms similar to that of the other boy?
Such a shame. We limbs he was weak to begin with, so the devil took him much faster.
Oh
No
my
fever.
God.
Which meant it probably wasn't an infection.
And is the other ill?
No. All right, is right.
His heart rate was slow and pupils pinpoints. A sign of poisoning.
Thomas, what have you eaten recently?
He's triggered nothing but a bit of broth in the last day. Most of that he brought back up again.
Come near me.
But he didn't even know.
Oh, for God's sake, woman. He's probably had something that he shouldn't have eaten. It's as simple as food poisoning.
I should say not.
What are you doing, Glenn? Let a stranger in a camp like this? Just speaking as a healer and a good one. She needs people to help.
Baxter, he needs to be unbound and fresh air let in.
Da loco.
I believe I can ease his suffering. Give me a chance.
Immundissime spiritus. In nomine Domini nos recite. Da loco.
That's gonna just kill him and just make him worse. It'll probably make him worse, if not kill him. He's not going to be chucking up pea soup any time now, love. And even if he does, it's probably a result to food. It's probably food poisoning. I'm guessing that. Well, back in those days, religion and stuff like and the supernatural, it was pretty much like a staple during that lifetime, whereas now it's a little bit more relaxed, even though you do get like some funny people who take things way too far. Or so, well, I'm not going to get into the debate of that because it's just going to like cause an argument. And this is a reaction video. I don't want to have like an argument in the comments. I just want comments like about like my videos and not the contents in it as well.
I might not be able to do anything about it with the limited resources at hand.
It's one of those things. Oh. That was unexpected. Larry's getting some action. I won't be surprised if she's going to be playing out the sausage with him. And by the end of it, she'll come out with a couple of faggots. Hey, brumch. And by faggots, I do not mean gay people. I mean kiddies. A bun in the oven, shall we say?
Those fillies can be dangerous.
Fillies? I think because you work in the fillies, no, right? Hey! What's wrong with you?
She's getting really cheeky now. She's getting cheeky. Is it because she's jealous? I think she's jealous.
Teasing the lad about Leary, her father of a Colin wants to know about it. Young Jamie could get more than a bloody nose.
Like a wife?
Maybe.
Ooh.
That's not the wife he should have.
No.
He's a woman, not a lassie. And Leary will be a girl until she's 50. Been around long enough to ken the difference very well. So do you, mistress.
Bit of foreboding there. Bit of foreshadowing. He needs a woman, not a little lassie.
I felt ashamed of the way I teased Jamie. And if I was being perfectly honest, I did it because I was jealous.
I knew it.
Jealous
I knew it. Why else would you do it?
sense of their intimacy. I missed my husband.
Mistress Beecham? Mistress Beecham? You all right?
Yes, I'm fine. Thank you. What can I do for you, Mr. Mackenzie?
I thought you might like to visit Gillis Duncan, the fiscal's wife. To restock your shelves before the gathering.
Yes. Yes, I would.
I'm going into the village tomorrow morning. I'll take you with me to Mrs. Duncan's.
Just gonna go over to Gillis's house. Oh, because she did say that if you want to come over my place and have a little look at the bottles and vials and stuff like that. I'm not sure about Gillis just yet. I think it's because it's early days. I've only ever seen her in just one episode. But sometimes when you see a character in one episode, that kind of cements what they're going to be like for the rest of the series, what the rest of the season even, or the rest of the couple of episodes until they get locked off like in EastEnders, like something happens.
As I told you, there's many things in this world we can't explain.
That is true. There are things in this world that we don't understand. That nor science or anything in the world can explain.
Was the exorcism successful?
I don't know. I left before it was over. I do know. Hamlet were my child, I wouldn't leave them to the tender mercies of that man.
See it well clear and clear. There's no mercy in his Bible or his heart. He takes the view that every woman since he is a
Sometimes I feel very much the stranger in a strange land.
It can't be easy. Being a Safanach in the Highlands. Assuming that's what you mean.
It's nice what's going on down there.
What's
Huh?
going on? What's going to happen? What?
That was caught stealing, most like. Usually is with the tanner's lad. They brought him to Arthur to dispense justice. His breakfast had agreed with him this morning. The lad might have got off with a whipping, but since he's most likely costive or flatulent, the lad will probably lose his hand. For stealing.
What? It's a bit harsh. Oh, for God's sake.
Peppermint, my dearest. Ah, come here. Rend of judgment with a roiling gut. Ow!
So, you haven't decided the fate of the boy yet?
Huh? Eh?
This is Claire Beecham, from up at the castle.
Oh, yes. Yes, of course. Ah, thank you, my darling.
What's that for?
Ah! Oh, I believe it's working already. Ah.
I don't know what evidence there is against the boy, but
He's
surely...
confessed, actually.
Oh, God, he's just done it.
Lawyer. Father Bean is arguing.
Who would thought that a fart,
Only wait.
like
Save his immortal soul.
a fart or a fart joke could actually
not going to mutilate it.
make it all better in a serious scenario?
Oh, how we.
And of course the kid confessed. He's a kid. He's scared. He don't know what he's going to do.
Imagine.
He'd be in trouble if he told a lie, let alone tell a truth.
How would you feel if your son were taken from you? Surely it was but hunger that made the man take to thievery.
What's going on? Where's this going?
He's not seen it in her heart. Merciful, and you the soul of justice.
Oh, my sweet, tender heart. Since he's confessed, I cannot let him go. But perhaps 1 hour in the pillory and 1 year nailed. Uh-huh.
Nailed.
It is you are tender-hearted.
Nailed? What does he mean by nailed?
Oh, I've reached a decision, Father Bean.
There. Easily done.
Mind you, it's probably better than being
Kyle.
flogged in a way. What's...
When he nailed.
Yeah, I want to know about this nail business, girlies. What's going on?
To the pillory, of course. Better than losing a hand.
Oh, he had to lose a hand. But isn't being nailed to the pillory a hell of a lot worse than having your hand cut off? At least with having your hand cut off, it's over and done with. Oh, the poor lads. Oh, God!
Now will be absolved.
Oh my God. He's gonna bleed to death on that blooming thing.
Pound it and put them on to steam.
I think we'll need a couple more than just a couple of glasses of port, love. But the poor little mite.
You do puzzle me, Claire. What will it think? You don't have salaries or punishment where you come from.
Different there.
Where? Oxfordshire? Wouldn't think things were so different.
Not just Oxfordshire. I had an unusual childhood. I was brought up in lots of places.
Really? Do tell. That's needs to read all about it.
Gallus is such an enigma. I don't know where I am with her.
What is it? In here.
I don't know whether she is like, if she's the bad guy, if she's the good guy. I don't know.
Have it?
But there's something about her. There's something. Oh, hello, Jamie. I didn't see you go in.
Mistress Beecham was just about to tell me of her unusual upbringing. I'm sure it's a good story. Why don't you have a glass of port and listen in?
More hanging out. But we should leave or we'll get naught but scraps for a dinner.
Thank you for your hospitality, Gaelis. And for these.
Oh, Galus. I thought it was Gellis or Jealous.
We must do it again.
Of course.
Sorry if I like pronounce any of the names or titles wrong. Don't have a go at me. I don't know how it's supposed to be said. It's different. Different pronunciation, different areas of the world. Oh, what can you do?
How much longer do you think you'd have to stay there?
He can leave any time he wants. His hour is done. It's just the lad's not got up the courage to tear his ear from the nail.
You mean he has to tear himself loose?
Oh, that's got to work.
He set his mind to it soon enough.
Miss Tavish, your fingers, they're quite strong, I suppose.
Aye.
Oh, he's going to try and rip him off, isn't he?
And then a valley. Put yourself in a right swear it, have you know?
There's no job to be making heavy weather off.
Jamie, what are you doing?
Heading it's over.
You're not helping
Yeah.
by taunting him. He's been through enough. Oh, God. Jesus. He didn't even scream.
Doesn't like the sight of blood.
Thank you. I know that was a risk.
Thank God she didn't really hit her head on the floor.
Would you be willing to risk helping me again? Do you know the Black Kirk?
For something called the Black Kirk, I was expecting something a little bit more haunted or something.
So peaceful. Not so what I expected.
Same here.
See, Satan's clever.
Satan's
Not catching
clever.
unsuspecting souls if he lays his traps in bogs and tunnels.
Do you actually believe demons live in this place?
No. No, we Lindsay and Thomas are not the first boys to sicken. Die after visiting up here. And tell the truth. What do you think of the Black Kirk? Living to tell the tale is the way to prove your manhood. Did it myself. I was a lad, no harm done. My own cousin, under the spell and was sick in a week.
I think demons are responsible.
I'm an educated man, mistress. If I may be so bold. Maybe not as educated as you. But I had a tutor. Good one. He taught me Latin and Greek and such. Childhood stories of fairies, devils, also horses and dogs.
Oh my god, the cheeky banter that's going on here.
Born and bred. I don't believe in tempting fate by making light of all naked, very unkirkyard.
When you had come here as a boy to prove your manhood, what exactly would you do?
Not much. Paper about, mostly. Climb the walls. Maybe defy the devil by pissing on the stone. You might be lucky and find some berries or wood garlic.
Wood garlic? And you eat it?
Aye.
Can you show me?
I don't like the taste of it, but some folks find it a treat.
It isn't wood garlic. Combinaria majale. Lily of the valley.
Lily of the valley? I've never heard of it.
Oh.
It is not native to Scotland. The monks that built this place. How are they from Germany, perchance?
Germany?
Prussia, I mean.
Aye.
Oh, she let it slip there. Claire, you've got to be more careful. As you said in your internal monologue, you've got to be more careful. And God, the priest is back again.
Poor dear Mrs.
Tainted his queen's body. Father Bain can only hope to save his word. I think I can save his life. I think Lindsay and Thomas ate this. This is Lily of the Valley, but it looks exactly the same as wood garlic. This is poisonous. I can give Thomas something to counteract the poison, but we have to move
What
quickly.
blasphemy is this?
Father, I mean no blasphemy. I simply want...
I am the Lord's disciple. You are not ordained to drive away the demon. Now leave this house this instant.
The boy's problem is poison, not a demon. If you don't let me tend to him, he will die. Let us pass, Father.
I'll not be ordered about by a woman. This boy is a slave to Satan and must be purged or have his soul doomed.
Just shut up and let him. You haven't got time to argue.
This is my sister's house. And my father's before that. And we'll decide what is done under its roof.
Oh, snap!
Tend the boy.
Go, go, Mrs. Fritz. Woo! Girl power. Oh, I just hope they've made it in time.
Decoction of belladonna. If the decoction worked, it would normalize his heart rate, lower his blood pressure, and bring him back to consciousness within moments. But if I was wrong about the dosage or the original poison, it would cause convulsions and kill the boy almost as quickly.
So he could die either way. If they don't do anything, he'll die. And even if they do, and even if she does do something and she gets the dosage wrong, it's fatal either way. Well, she must have got the dosage, but the dosage is right. That's such a good thing for like a blind guess.
Oh, my boy! My boy's come back to me!
He's alive! Woo!
God bless you.
Oh, thank God. No pun intended and no offence intended.
Make a fool of God. But God will have the last one. I promise you.
You know who this priest reminds me of? You know, like the game Outlast, and you got like that freaky priest. He looks a little bit like him. If you put like eyeliner on, put himself in a mental institute, you'd have him, wouldn't you? You'd have, what's his name? Father Martin, yeah.
It's so different where you come from.
That regard, I suppose not.
Makes you feel better. Mrs. Fitch, that calls you Colac, now Muir.
got worker.
Aww.
Good Lord. At the very least, I hope I've earned a measure of trust from Colin.
Aye. Taking credit for bringing you on as here for the Mackenzies. I doubt he want to see you leave anytime soon.
I'll never get out of here.
I almost stayed in my room. I had no desire to see that mixture of awe and suspicion that seemed to follow me everywhere now. It only heightened the feeling of hopelessness about my situation that had come crashing down on me. I had performed what has been called a miracle. Instead of buying me my release, it had tightened my bonds to this place. And even if I did get away, get back to the zone, I had no guarantee it would work again, whatever it was. And if it did work, there was no guarantee that I would get back home. Couldn't I just as easily be hurtled back in time yet again, to the Middle Ages or even the Roman occupation? What finally brought me out of my room was the oblivion promised by Colin's Renish.